Good evening, gentlemen. So tonight we're talking about bringing back the old time days. Okay, I had started, or at least I had told Dennis that we were going to look at the West Indian front room, which was basically the stuff that is in our living room. But then as I was developing this presentation, I realized that our lives in Trinidad and certainly in the Caribbean and in the diaspora was a little more than just the living room. Okay. So as I was going through this as well, there was a lot of nostalgia that came to the fore. Okay. And I think, but as is my want to know, I like a little musical interlude to introduce. So we'll start off by having a look at you know this piece of music here. Can you guys hear?
Yep.
Yeah.
One second, eh? Uh, you all remember this yet?
Bring back the old time days. Bring back them old time ways. I know everything must change, but I still love the old time days. Used to be everyone could afford to live right, just to feel nice, didn't need no paradise. Now open your eyes, look around, smoke in the city, and what was pretty, crying out for sympathy. So bring back the old time days. Bring back them old time ways. I know everything must change, but I still love the old time days. Used to be everyone cared for each other, lived like brothers, respected one another. In times gone by, we used to share, together we'd make do. And if I draw a susu, what was mine was yours too. I know them days done past and gone, and I know that life must carry on. But if I must join in with the pack, then I'm going back. I'm going back, yeah, yeah, back to the old time days. Back to them old time ways. I know everything must change, but I still love the old time days. Yes, bring back the old time days. Bring back them old time ways. I know everything must change, but I still love the old time days. Bring it back, bring it back. Just bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back.
Okay, so so the question really, and basically the objective of this presentation is to answer the question, should we really bring back the old time days? Okay, and in order to do that, I want to examine some of the things that surrounded us when we were growing up in our parents' house. Okay, and a lot of these things that we have never really given much thought to. All right. So let me just stop the share for just 1 second. All right, and simply ask you guys, Roger in particular, okay, to talk to me if someone has a question, because I'm not seeing you guys at the moment. All I'm seeing is the presentation.
Yeah,
all right,
we'll let you know. We'll let you know. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Okay. So I want to start way back in the 1800s actually, and talk a little bit about the living room, because that's where I wanted to start, a typical Trini living room. And this is a picture from 1875, I think. Okay, and there's a little description from the English author Charles Kingsley, who had visited Trinidad in 1870. All right, he was going from Embarcadero in San Fernando to Princestown. So this is a southern home. All right, and he overnighted at a house, a mother's house. Okay, and this is what he wrote about it. Okay, he says, it is not till next morning, he was sleeping, I guess, that I found out what a charming place I had entered overnight. Around were books, pictures, china, vases of flowers, works of art, and all appliances of European taste, even luxury, but in a house that was utterly un-European. The living rooms, all on the first floor, opened into each other by doorless doorways. And the walls were of cedar and other valuable woods. With good taste, had left still unprepared.
He's frozen.
It's frozen. Roger, you frozen.
Yeah. Computer giving trouble.
Anybody can still record it?
Oh, okay. It looks like he got booted out. He had to come back in.
Yeah, he gone back to the days before internet.
That's the old time days.
Man, old time days. Yeah.
I guess he answered his own question. We shouldn't bring back the old time days.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Not only that, the man going back to his old time days, 1840 something. I didn't think we were going back that far,
Yeah, that is the days. That is even before the days of telegraph.
Well, I was waiting to hear him talk about Morris chair. I thought he was going to talk about the Morris chair.
Yeah.
The long distance call. Please dial 1 or 0 as.
Now I notice it's still recording and I don't know how to stop it because.
He's got the control.
Yeah.
Well, since it's still recording, maybe we can start a conversation.
Yeah, that could always delete out.
Yeah. And
so what do you
do them thing? Yeah.
You're frozen. We can't see you.
Yeah, my internet went off.
Oh, your internet went off.
Yeah, this is, yeah, I guess it's Roger.
Okay.
This is weird. So just like the voice, no? Okay. Trying to come back up. I guess my router is rebooting and everything.
Yep.
So hopefully, if this doesn't come through, we'll have to see how it goes.
That is okay. We bad talking you in the meantime. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Technical problem. Okay. An unknown error occurred. Maybe I'm back up. Yep. Hang on a second.
Pay the bill, boy. Pay the bill.
Huh? No,
Pay the bill.
But as he can't remember who the singer was, can Nappy Laughlin and Nappy, who was it? I see you say Nappy Mears.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me see if I can get through to this. Okay. It's telling me some stuff here. Okay. And my wife is shouting in my head. So let me come back to this. Why would I stop video? What am I doing? Okay.
But the man said the wife shouting in the ears, like the same thing like the old time days, boy.
Lord. Yeah, Roger. I'm hearing you loudly and clearly. Yes, bye.
That's Dave. That's Dave. Don't blame me. That's Dave.
Don't worry, boy. That boy, I songing like Dave. They really Roger, boy. Yeah.
Don't lie, Dave.
I have to use my hand, so just give me a second.
Yeah. Oh, no. Dave, you'll get cattle boil, boy. You'll get cattle boil.
I have mango leaf for that, man. 7
Oh,
mango
is that
leaf,
so?
you touch it, you put it behind the fridge, let it dry on, and the cattle boil gone.
Well, look, I learned something new.
Yeah.
Never rock a donkey eye to give him a good start.
Fix that. Yeah.
Talking about old time days, do people still use koja root?
Which one is koja root?
The one you used to make tea with, koja root tea, a bush.
I know about jigger bush. I ain't know about.
No, there's koja root.
I never heard that.
Never
You know
hear
my next name?
Never had it.
You know my next name? Well, we ain't going that far back, you know.
Yeah, Radford, you're showing your age, boy.
Yes, that is going back to the roots. We only going back to the leaf. You know, we.
Think Radford,
No,
if
but
it,
seriously, what is koja root? I can't remember. Do you have my next name?
I don't know. I know we used to call it koja root.
and they used to soak that in coconut oil and take it.
There we go with the coconut oil again.
I know they used to make a tea with it.
I can't get Roger off the coconut oil.
Anything with coconut oil is good for you, boy.
Canadian healing oil.
Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm back up, but I'm not seeing my photograph. I don't know what's going
Well,
on.
we're not seeing you either.
Yeah.
Check your
We
video.
can hear you.
Oh, come on, I'm supposed to be checking my video, but what's going on here with my video?
Roger, you have to learn to use one computer before you start with two, boy.
No,
Roger, I
that
was
was-
just about to hire you as an IT expert.
okay, don't worry. I'll just
I'm
use
rethinking
I'll
that
just use
decision.
a different camera. Okay, how is that?
Yeah, we're seeing you.
We're seeing you.
Okay, fine.
You had on that shirt all the time? You had on that shirt all the time?
Yes, of course.
All right, all
Of
right.
course.
I ain't sure.
It's a different camera I'm using, so it might look a little different. All right. Let me try to see if the camera came back. The last one.
And
No?
is Dave making all them comment, huh? Dave Guru. Just say be careful. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Any
All right.
fella in back of the classes. I only say what people tell me to say, DP.
Let me just stop. Let me just go back to the camera, my default camera. Okay. All right, good. So couple of things. Stop recording, pause recording. Okay, so this is what Kingsley said about his trip from Embarcadero, okay, to Princestown, and it's the home that he stopped off at. All right. Fast forward a little bit to our experience when somebody comes to your house in Trinidad. The first thing that they do basically is enter your yard. Okay. Right. And we know that the yard, people in Trinidad, unlike people here, who live in townhouses, who live in apartments, we like our space. Okay, at least our parents loved our space. And so, the houses were pretty much detached houses, okay, with a big yard, all right? And typically people will either speak about the front yard or the backyard. You know, I don't know if you all spoke about the side yard. I never really heard that term before. Okay, and in the back you usually had, you know, chickens, yes, and a lot of fruit trees, whether it's avocado or what do you call this? What do you call this fruit again?
Soursop.
Soursop or whatever, and children playing on the guava tree and so on. Are you guys would remember those days? Yes. You know, also may not because you live in the middle of San Fernando, I believe. But anyway,
But you
if
know,
you live in the country like Georgia and so on, you would have had these experiences. Yes.
all
all-
sources come from the small islands now.
You get that experience in the small island, right? And pretty much
Oh.
every house had steps.
So,
Okay,
so
different
some don't grow in
painted red.
Trinidad again.
What's that? I didn't quite get that.
Soursop, you hardly get it grown in Trinidad. Most of it is come from the small islands.
Oh,
Why
okay.
is that? Why is that?
Why? Trini not really into it. And it have a lot of insects that is attack it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have to do like what the Chinese do, put a bag over it early enough to prevent the insects from boring and
Attacking the
eating the
food.
eggs. Mhm.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so you know, you pass through the yard, right? And of course, like in this house, the first place you enter is the gallery. Yes. And many houses had a gallery or a porch, as you now know it as. Yes.
That's
Okay.
it.
And this was a sitting area generally, you know, and it was also a place to relax and to talk to the neighbors. Yes, you don't see much of this, at least, you know, where I am now, I don't see any of this really happening. All right.
I tell you, my house never looked like that.
What's that?
Was
that-
that, is this your house?
No.
Was this-
No. This is not my house. This is just some houses in Trinidad, actually. All these pictures come from
okay.
places in Trinidad. All right.
Oh,
You
okay.
would notice as well the very intricate lattice work in some of the
Yes.
older houses, right?
Yes.
These were not functional really, okay, but really serve the purpose of beauty, I suppose. You know, to give this house some kind of, you know, different feel. All right. And this is in a lot of houses. You don't see them today. Okay, don't see them in houses, these kinds of lattice work in houses today. All right. Certainly as you come through the door, the front door, all right. Of course, that gave access to the living room. All right. And these doors, some of them were pretty simple, made of either wood or glass. And again, some had this intricate lattice work over them, all right, to provide air, I guess, to the space. Later on, of course, these things were replaced by hollow blocks, yes, in the concrete situation where, you know, air could pass through the house. All right. Nowadays, everybody has air conditioning because mosquitoes is a problem, right? So you wouldn't find this kind of lattice work or blocks anymore. All right, because everybody now has you know, concrete wall up to the ceiling. Yeah. Also, you know, unlike here, nobody really took off their shoes at the front door. Yeah. So there is that. All right. Coming out of that now, as you enter the living room, you'll notice the floor. Our floor, certainly, when I lived in Hermitage, was made out of mahogany, pretty much, which is a hardwood. All right. But other people elsewhere, I guess, would have used wood coming out of Ghana and certainly in Trinidad, green heart, purple heart, and so on. Yeah. But most interestingly, every Saturday or more Saturdays, we had to polish the floor. I don't know if any of you guys had that particular experience, Austin, where you had to get down on your hands and knees and
Yeah.
polish the floor.
I
right?
remember. I remember.
Polish, yes, pretty
Oh.
much.
Or vanish it every year.
and varnish it every year.
Yeah.
That's right. You know,
And you had to
this-
scrape off the varnish too before you varnish it, revarnish it, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so this was part of our experience. Yes, you know, growing up, really. All right. And of course, you would enter the
Roger,
living room. Yes.
can
Somebody has a
anybody
question?
remember the heavy broom? There was a heavy broom with a long mop, with a
Yes.
long handle.
Yes.
And hold it in one hand and one end of the floor and swing it across to the other hand and to the other end of the floor, right across the whole living room until you shine the whole floor.
But I remember the mop, but I don't remember a broom that used to swing across the room. You know.
A heavy thing with real good iron. You know, probably weighing about 15, 20 pounds.
Okay. Okay.
And it swing it from one arm to the other, right across the room to shine the floor.
Yeah, that was
What?
probably a Princess Tongue special. But anyway. Okay. Moving on. So, in the living room, of course, you had the Morris chairs. Yeah, you guys remember? You guys remember any of this?
Yeah.
These Morris chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So these Morris chairs actually were made, or at least were originally made in England. Okay, by some company called Morris and Company, owned by somebody by the name of William Morris. All right, but of course the original cushions, okay, were made of coconut fiber. All right, and there was a center table usually in the living room. Okay, and of course you must have the flowers. All right, and sometimes you had plastic flowers. Y'all remember that? You know, my mother was never really keen on plastic flowers. So every Saturday afternoon, we would have to go up the road there, somewhere between my house and George's house, you know, to cut flowers or get flowers cut from someone to put in a vase for the week. Yeah? Yeah. And I was standard practice. So Dave, you were saying?
I was going to say, what I remember as you're talking about that,
Uh-huh.
that was my first experience with what we call, not like a snow globe, but it's similar to that, because my grandfather had gone to Grenada and he had brought back one of those little globe filled with water, and there was a flowers inside that. And my grandmother, she had one that was kind of like, you know, like a pyramid-like, and the other one was wrong. But those two, I could distinctly remember them on the Morris chair center table.
Right.
And it was the variant of the flowers. And you know, as a young kid, we would watch it, not allowed to touch that because that came from foreign, you know. So
and that's another thing too. As children, we weren't really allowed to do many things in the living room, right? You know, our place was pretty much in the back. Yeah.
Also, one thing that seems to be missing from this, and maybe it came later, was the plastic covers over the cushions to protect them, right?
Yeah, I think those may have come later.
Okay.
Yeah.
and when the grandchildren come around.
Roger.
Yes, Radford.
What about the rattan chairs?
Oh, well, I'm coming to that, okay? Because the next one we had these like rocking chairs, these rattan chairs, and so on, which were always also there. Okay. Interestingly, did you know that the rocking chair was invented in the US? Yeah, apparently Benjamin Franklin is sometimes credited with inventing this rocking chair. All right. But it wasn't him, it was someone else in the US. All right, in the 18th century. All right. So yeah. The blind welfare people used to make these seats, these things here, right? You know, in San Fernando and Porto. I think they still do that kind of work. All right, and other things in the living room was the cabinet. You guys remember? Okay, come on. You guys remember this cabinet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. with all the
Yeah.
wares inside there, all the glasses, and which you never use, really. Right?
That's right.
That was the next thing around Christmas time. You have to
Yeah.
straight down and vanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you used to call
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
you also used to call it the hutch.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they call this the hutch, right? But I know of a safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is the same thing. But anyways, and of course, you know,
Hey, Roger,
yeah.
you know, as you're mentioning that, I just realized we have something that now we're calling it a hutch, but thinking about it, it's serving the same purpose, because I can't remember when last we even touched something inside there. And except for having to vanish it. Now that you mentioned it's 20 years, I didn't think we touch anything inside there, it's just there.
All
Serving the same purpose.
all the things you get from your wedding and so on. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So-
And sometimes
so
it
the-
got overcrowded, you know.
Yeah.
With
So
stuff.
those Morris chairs, right? You know, like most things, I presume they're less they're rarer now, right? I presume them if you
But
have a
act-
Morris chair, that is worth some money now, right?
Yeah, but actually they're still being manufactured
Yeah.
at the original plant. Yeah, but of course you probably have to pay a lot of money for them now. You know,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
interesting, right?
You see how low those chairs were too? You had to go down low on that, you know.
But it was sturdy. You know, you could hold on to that rounded what you call that
Yes.
handle there and push yourself up. You know.
It was good. It was good for driving dinky cars on your little Matchbox cars. You drive over the curve there.
All right. Okay. So you have the cabinet, and of course, after the cabinet, you have to talk about the center table. The center table, sometimes the table with the doily on top of it, you know. Right? Yeah. And at least my mother used to do embroidery. I don't know about embroidery and crochet and all of these different things. Right? And eventually it would end up on the center table. Yeah. And then on top of that comes the flowers. Right? So this is standard business. All right. I remember, you know, my mom and my sister as well, Jean, used to spend hours doing this kind of embroidery. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you have had that experience, Peter, you know, of seeing your mother doing some stuff like that.
Which Peter, me?
Can
Yeah. My
Yeah.
mom used to do that knitting thing with the 2 needles
Oh yeah.
and the plastic thread. And she was making all kind of little doily and cup holder and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Roger, one of the things she did, she taught us some of the simple stitches like chain stitch and all that. You know? Taught us. She actually taught us some of those.
Yeah. And of course, in any living room, you have to have ornaments. Yes. Whether it's pictures or this pan is famous, yes. Plenty people have this pan. Yeah. And of course, you know, your Christmas ornaments, I suppose. Yeah. So this was a standard thing. And even you right now, George, if you look behind your on your wall and so on, you know, family memorabilia and so on. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. In some households as well, you know, you had a lot of brass stuff. Okay. Yeah. Like, you know, in our household, we had a lot of lotas and terriers as well. Right? I don't know if Austin is familiar with what those things. But you all had all them things.
All them things, and boy, polishing them thing was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. That's why they had brass ones and silver. Yes.
And that was your job as a kid.
What was it? What was the lota and the tarrier there in these pictures, and what were they used for?
Well, they were primarily East Indian ornamentals, right? And they were finally given as gifts and things to other people, or you have them in your house.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
they
think
were more than ornamental, right? The flat tray on the left corner bottom is a tarrier, and
had this one here.
the round thing next to it is a lute. Actually, next to it is a lute as well, right?
Yeah.
And they were used traditionally in prayers when you're doing a prayers with a pandit in your home. You'd have all the flowers and rice and so on, and tarrier, and the lute. They'd have water to take the mango leaf and you pour, take it and push it around, or milk or ghee in it, and then at the end, in order for the pandit to collect some money, they used to put some piece of lighted thing in a dia and pass around for people to make donations to the priest, right? They take RT, as they call it.
Nice little education. Thank you, Taku.
In my house, it was just Christmas walk. That was it.
And a lot of people used to wear these bracelets as well.
Yes, all the parents and grandparents used to wear those big bearer. They call them bearer.
Okay. Yeah. I think these brass things here, candlesticks, really like a Christian kind of feel to it. Yeah. But all right. So
if Peter Can had known that had understood the religious impact of those things, man, could have been a whole different thing today.
Rebelling from young. Anyhow, so we're still in the living room, okay. And one of the main things in the living room was the radiogram. Yes. Back in the day, right? Of course, the technology changed with transistor radios, and it got smaller, and but back in the day, these things actually technologically had what it calls tubes, vacuum tubes. I, as a kid, would be looking behind my father's or father's radiogram and thinking, is men behind there playing the music?
And of course, Roger, the two important manufacturers, Blowpoint and Grundage.
And Philips. Philips as well.
Right?
Remember Philips?
But the good thing about it is that you gotta get shortwave and medium wave, because at times we used to listen to Radio Moscow and other things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but interestingly, the radio was on pretty much all the time. From sunrise to sunset, I guess.
You didn't really have anything else, right?
Anything else, right?
One comment.
Yes, Rashford.
It was interesting about this because my wife grew up in the city, and she's not familiar with any of this.
Really?
Her music was very fusion and other things like that. She asked me a question a couple of days ago. Actually, my daughter asked me the question when I said to her, we used to be picked up by a car and taken to school. She said, but did you guys have a car? Think about it. This is the 50s, 60s. There were only three cars. There were only 3 cars in the whole village.
Yeah.
So the expectation in the city is different from the expectation in the countryside. Because I talk about all these things like she had no idea.
Yeah. But I wonder if in the city people didn't just used to walk, because I don't know that people in the city had cars as well. There were more cars, but I don't know if it's typical family own a car. But in any case, what I do know is that, and this is a phenomenon throughout the Caribbean and the Caribbean diaspora, okay, that every Sunday, okay, this guy would be played on the radiogram.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Jim Reed. Yes. Yeah. And let me just, for those of you guys who don't know what Jim Reed sounds like.
The crooner.
This world is not my home.
Yes.
Just
okay.
Heaven's not my home, then where will I say?
Okay.
That's not the real thing, boy.
It's the real thing.
When you finish, I will share what is happening in the village.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
When I used to live in the village, which was predominantly Indian community, but actually they were all Gurahus, a whole set of family, and everybody had that same radio. And on Sunday morning, the same radio Trinidad for the Indian program with Moin Mohammed, Wohiman Jyoti Hai Koi Lote Lata Hai, presenting on Radio Trinidad, you know, melodies of India, and everybody turn on the same radio at the same time and pop up the volume, you know, because you see.
Nice.
Yeah, but Jimmy was a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
After everybody have Sunday lunch, you put it on Jimmy. You know, but interestingly, the show that I was mentioning, you know, which talked about West Indian people in London in the 50s and 60s, mentioned the fact that this guy was the most popular, you know, guy played by West Indian people like on Sunday. And certainly when I was in Guyana, I remember, man, every Sunday morning, you're trying to sleep, right? And around 7 o'clock, blasting through the whole neighborhood, Jim Reeves. So yes, and this was fairly recent.
You remember on the Sunday after lunch, it used to be Antique?
Yeah,
yes. Yes.
Yeah, later on, you know, TV was to come around. Right? I don't remember this guy, but TTT, of course, was the only radio TV station around, right? And yeah, you know, the big thing was, but we didn't have a television, so we used to go by Morrison, right? He had a shop down the road, and every Friday evening around 6 or 7, you know, the whole village basically come in the living room and watch Bonanza. Yeah. And I remember distinctly this.
Yes.
Rosa.
And the fire in the middle, the fire burning up the map.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah. Horse and little Joe was the favorite man.
With the left hand gun, boy.
Yeah. And he had the yeah, but he had the little Joe had the black and white horse. How you call them?
The Palomino. Palomino.
Yeah, so this was must watch TV every Friday evening.
You know, you talk about the radiogram. The one thing I remember about our radiogram, I think it might have been a Philips or something, but we used to have a cha-cha that used to live in the radiogram. And when you turn it on with the lights on the back, you see the cha-cha on where you're supposed to tune.
I see. So you had basically the same experience.
Yeah.
When
that's where they used to go to live.
Yeah, when Bonanza came out, I was in Tobago. We had a government house in Tobago, and it was the only house on that stretch with that TV. And when Bonanza come on, every window, little boys poking their head through to watch.
Yeah.
Living room. And it was like special if you get invited. And boys used to come in gingerly and sit on the ground against the wall to watch Bonanza.
Yeah, it was community entertainment. You know?
Let me add a little bit to that, Kang. We had that TV. We were the first people at the TV in the village, and my dad was working Texaco, so he bought TV. But I just say that Friday night used to be like a sellout because people used to come from all over just to sit down all in the gallery, banister through the window. To the extent that they had one guy, they fall asleep. And when they waken him, he started drawing gun. Like, and do you know after this day, that man name is Sheriff? Big grown up man, they named him Sheriff after that. And that was it. Yeah. It was a big thing. I remember in 1969 when the moon, they were landing on the moon. How many people were in that gallery watching that event?
Oh, the event. Okay. Okay.
Well, good memories, man. You're bringing back some real good memories here. We had two color TV, you know, a black and a white.
A black and a white. and you remember the bars that used to come on like when the TV finished?
Yes.
I know.
the test pattern.
Until the next morning. But
Do
anyway,
you remember when they bring Combat? Combat used to be the war movie late on Wednesday, but that was like, you now and then on Friday night, you'll get to watch that because it's Friday, you're not no school the next day. But that was the first war movie I remember they used to have.
Oh, okay. I can't recall that particular movie. But anyways, okay. So what's going on with my camera now?
Memories.
Okay, I seem to be running into some issues with my camera, but no matter. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I remember distinctly Rat Patrol, right?
Yeah, I
and
remember Rat Patrol.
Yeah, and Dave, you mentioned earlier when on the type-in part, you talk about jealousy.
Yeah.
So we had to go to bed before Rat Patrol started. I don't know what time it started, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock or something. But we had to go to bed because school the next day. But what you do is you climb up on top of the you climb up on top of the place where all the stand and all that. Then you climb up on a little ledge on the wall.
You sign up on the cantilever.
Yeah. Then you hold on to the jealousy, and you're watching Rat Patrol from on top.
Yeah. Until your parents see you.
Yeah, until you get buff. Yeah.
Okay, so in addition to the TV and the radio, most homes would have had this. Yes, the singer sewing machine.
Yes.
Okay, right, and of course the girls had to know how to sew, right? And of course, Christmas time, curtain sewing, big time, right? On this, I learned how to darn pants and hem clothes and other things on this machine. Yeah.
I used to sew the hardest part was to thread the thing on the
thread this thing in the corner here.
Shuttle boy, shred the shuttle.
Yeah. But I used to use that. We used to use it to sew seam on jeans. Remember?
What's that?
You used to put seam on your jeans.
Yeah. No, I used to iron the seam. I didn't, stitch the seam. That was beyond my capability at that point.
I used to sew it on.
Anyhow,
so Hannah, was that 110 volts or 220 volt you had to plug that into?
That was foot power volt.
Yeah.
I had no electricity.
Electricity came. That's why you have this pedal here,
Yeah. And here it is now.
Foot on hand.
It had some men get abused with that. You see, when one of those cord break out from the cord that string there, that was if you parents get one a hold of that for those of
licks.
Parents licks in the
That's the orange cord on the right.
Yeah.
That was good for licks, huh? Yeah.
When they get that, they ain't care about the belt again. They replace it with the singer cord. You learn to sing. It's like when you get bull pistol, you say, "Who get that, boy? Oh shit, it's me!" Because it take a little while before you feel it.
Register. All right. Coming up next, we're moving into the dining room, right? And of course, the dining room was often time between the kitchen and the living room, yes? Right? So it also was a kind of study because the table was there, pretty much. Yeah?
Roger, that's where you used to watch the TV from, up on top through that.
Yeah.
Up on top, that's right.
To these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Climb up on the house, whatever.
Yeah, lucky.
Go ahead,
yeah, lucky thing the jealousy didn't break away. I guess we didn't weigh that much,
Yeah, different time. Right. like I said, all these are Trinidad homes, right? I got them from Angelo and Professor Singh's virtual library of Trinidad and Tobago. So all these pictures from back in Trinidad. All right.
GP, did you guys or anybody have a safe? And something called a safe in the dining room.
Yeah. You're stealing my thunder, man.
Oh, sorry. I take that back.
Because we have to talk about the chairs, the dining room chairs, right?
But
all right.
DP, I don't know if you're going to talk about this later, but did you notice that in the houses, well, at least when we used to live in the village, there was no sealing off with wood between the galvanized and the...
Some homes were like that. They had just the galvanized and then the room, right? But there was no ceiling really. You know.
And
Yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
I remember enjoying that rain, hearing the rain there that used to fall on that galvanized.
Yeah. Yeah, but we always had a ceiling. The problem was that we had bats used to live in the ceiling. And they used to make a lot of mess. Okay. So actually, that's where our parents used to put the toys, you know, for Christmas, after Christmas. You put the toys upstairs in the attic, right? So, you know.
Yeah, a Celotex ceiling.
Excellent.
Yeah, but also one other thing that we used to have occasionally, because at the back of us was a sugar cane plantation. So once in a while, you look up in the rafter and you'll see a snake.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Or the other, here's another one. I remember, I may have mentioned this to some of you, that when Roger was a little boy and I was looking after him, I took him and put him down on a mattress, and he screamed out. He was bitten by a scorpion. So these are the type of things.
You sure that was me, Radford, or Dave?
No, it was you.
Okay, I can't remember that just was.
Wait, you were a little thing.
Little baby, yes.
You know, that's what happened. Living in the village.
Bite that he can't remember.
What was that the origin of a scorpion sting me? I feeling I go dead. Sundar Popo.
Oh, Lord.
But my father had a remedy. He made his own scorpion remedy for scorpion bites.
No, that was coconut oil.
No, that's the one with rum, and you have scorpions in it and all that. And so
you should have pee on him, Radford.
Anyhow, let's focus. So in the kitchen as well, I said that, you know, we used to double as a study for a children's workroom. Okay, and of course we all know that when we studying, we used to have this ink.
Oh,
yes. This fountain pen, really. Yes, and of course the copybook that we used to use was an arithmetic table we used to have here. Yes.
A Trinidad from Trinidad, from a Trinidad.
And then we had all of these tables here at the back of the copybook. Right? Yeah. Some of it I can't remember, right? But they were there. All right.
That's right.
Okay, Austin Quiet Boy. I don't
who used to pay for the copybooks?
Yeah.
Who used to pay for the copybook? Parents
by
Ismail Khan, Khan, whatever, you know.
Brown paper bag.
Brown paper. Brown paper.
Brown paper.
Wherever you get.
Buy paper, man. Send a sheet and thing, or 10 for 3 sheet or something. And you paper that, and you cut an old postcard, and you cut out a picture and you stick it in front, you know. all the last year postcard, you get to use that. You get one with the candle or the little silver dust.
But in my day, before you get to this stage, we had slate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have a slate downstairs. I could talk, you know, I got it from Ishmael Khan a couple of years ago. He has a whole set in his basement. You know, you just go ask him. You know. And I have a bottle of Quinking, but the red one.
So, you know what I remember about this pen? Right? Putting the pen in your pocket. And the pen became out.
Forget to put on the cover.
Yes.
You're going over that big blue patch on his chest. You know? Yeah. The old time days. Anyways, another thing, so we're moving into the kitchen now, right? And the first thing we'll see is the stove. Right? You know, this was a gas stove back in the day, right? Probably in the early 1960s or so, right? A 2-burner stove, whatever, kerosene, right? I don't think they had gas at that point, right? And I was trying to get a stove like the one we used to use, okay? Because they had stoves like this. This was a 6-burner stove, actually, right? who is this from, boy? I can't remember. But anyway, the stove had something like a container similar to this container, okay, but it was on the wall. Yeah, Rashford, do you remember that? You know, we had you can't remember that. Okay.
I remember the stove. I remember the stove, but I can't remember what the burners are.
Yeah.
The gas. It was kerosene. It was kerosene.
It was kerosene. It was kerosene, not gas or anything like that.
It was kerosene.
But you showed this one that you're showing. This looked like a gas stove. The one before is the kerosene.
The previous one is kerosene.
The previous one is a kerosene.
This is kerosene.
I kerosene.
Yeah.
So let me ask a question there. How the oven used to work on that one?
But I don't know. I mean, this is your oven here, so
no. Go back to the one before.
Oh no, this was just the.
I don't know yet an oven.
On top that, my mother used to have an oven that you put and you're heating up from the stove here. And we start to lift it off and put it on there around Christmas time. Now often they go bake or whenever weekend or whatever. She was the only one baking in the village. But you had to put it up there and you light this stove and that heating up that oven inside there.
Okay, so like a microwave something.
No, it's like a metal container, like
it's like a stovetop oven.
Yeah, and you put it in there, but the heat coming from this to heat up that oven and warm up that, and it's hot air, so it's convection.
Right.
Remember, Roger, in Hermitage, before we had this kind of oven, Daddy made his own ovens.
Yep, with tin.
Okay.
He made his own oven using the coal pot at the base to warm up the inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how we baked.
Okay. That was I was very small then. You know?
Yeah. In the 50s, that's what we did.
Okay.
He made his own oven. Unfortunately, he lined the inside with asbestos. Then the metal sheeting on the inside in front of the asbestos.
Yeah. We didn't know better, really. You know.
Yep.
That's how DP hand come out. So.
No. It's playing with mercury. Quicksilver. Yeah. When I was in boys' school, I had big fun with that. But anyways, all right. This stove, which is interesting because there was an eye-level grill here, So anyway, so another big piece of furniture that was in the kitchen was the fridge. Yes, and you all remember this.
Yes.
Wait, Roger, before you go into the fridge, going back to the stove. Obviously, we have different economic classes going in the audience here because I see you show a chulha.
Yeah.
we had a chulha, which was a mud fireplace they used to put stuff in to cook, even when I was in high school.
Yeah. The neighbors had chulas.
I think I may have a picture of that later on.
Okay.
and the coal pot. And the coal pot.
Yeah.
I don't think I got the coal pot, but anyways, we will see. Okay, so this is the typical fridge. Yes. Okay, a single door generally, and you have the plastic that you pull down for the freezer part of it. Yes, which always had ice forming after about a week or so. Yes, you have to pull out the plug and the faucet and wipe up the floor and so on. And they had a little tray under here. Yes, they used to collect water.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the tree right there.
So let me share one more story about that. You're bringing back so much of memories. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but I had to share.
No. That's what
you see the one in the right there? How you have the shelves?
This one here.
The lady next to my grandmother used to sell anchar and polori and all them kind of thing in the school. But she never had a fridge, So she used to make the curry mango, but they used to make the mango not like a real curry mango, but they used to make it with masala and shake it up so you could buy penny or 3 cents or whatever and you get a few pieces. But she didn't have a fridge, so she would send this basin and ask my grandmother to keep it there. And fast forward now to years when we talking now, I thought I was the only one who used to go in there and steal a few pieces of that and thinking that I'm smart, I used to take the basin and shake it up and put it back. Now when me and my sister sit down and talking, is all of we end up doing that, and everybody shaking it and putting it back. Stupid ass people fooling the people. But 2 weeks after, we noticed the lady started stored by the next neighbor. Who had a fridge. Good memories, boy.
Your neighbor probably didn't have little children.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So anyways, in the kitchen as well, you used to have the safe, yeah? So this.
Yeah, look the safe there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Look the safe.
Yeah, the safe. You're keeping bread and all kinds of things in there, condensed milk and so on.
Yeah. Especially
yeah.
on the top. On the top part had all the good food. You know?
You know why it's so high, Roger? So you can't reach it.
I know. All the good food was up there, and then I feel like we used to have plates filled with water, and then the food inside the plate, so that the ants can't get to the food, right?
No, talking about ants, right? You see, sometimes they put these legs here in a little cup of water.
Yes. That's true.
What is inside it, yeah.
And there's a broom there, boy.
Yeah, now for the coquille broom.
Oh yeah, boy, let me coquille. Now you ever see that coquille broom turn upside down?
like that way?
You know why? If it have a sukuya in the village, she will never come into the house if that broom is turned upside down.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
You learn something every day.
Or worse, if she come visiting by you and you suspect, with that lady we call she Miss Dorothy, they thought she was the sukuya. If she come, you wickedness, you're going to turn the broom upside and they say she never leave. No, I mean, it used to be superstition, and then sometimes your mother them come and tell you, hey, I'll put back the broom, let the lady go home. You don't even see or not, you know? Yeah. Because they say how she can't leave if that coquille broom upside down, she'll catch the skin. If you can catch it, we planning to put it down. We say if we catch it, or rub pepper on the skin, and all kind of stupidness, you know?
Oh, God. The poor innocent woman, all your when you know, sullying her reputation.
But I had a good cookie broom.
It's brand new, you know, at least freshly made from coconut tree leaves. But anyway,
that look like a two-handed coconut coquille broom. Yeah.
You all ever clean the coconut leaves to make the broom?
Yeah.
Because this is fine at every leaf. Yeah. So anyways, you all know this. Yeah, the grater.
Yeah.
In every kitchen, yes.
Yeah, man, you know what are they want?
For grating coconut
and the cocoa on the right?
Yeah.
You make your own grater. Never
sometimes.
This kind, especially. Yeah.
Back in the day, these graters on this side here was basically used for punishment. The children go outside and kneel long on the grater with 2 stones in their hand.
And who tell you to do that, boy?
that was our experience.
I tell you, if we supposed to be seeing therapists, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, seriously and interestingly, that type of brutality came out of the whole slavery experience, because that same thing was related to me by somebody in Guyana.
Is it damn Europeans?
And it was also related to me by somebody from the US, from the South US. The same exact, going out in the yard and kneeling down and on a grater as punishment. Right? So, you know, in 3 different places.
Glad Tabs didn't have one of those, boy. Yeah?
Anyway, so here we're getting, I guess, coffee or cocoa or something.
Cocoa, boy, cocoa.
Cocoa. Yeah. And I guess people in Grenada and stuff use great nutmeg and other things. But anyway,
that's to make your cocoa tea.
Yeah. Cocoa tea and so on.
I think Govin leave the thing, but Govin still makes that cocoa, you know. Up
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he has his coffee grind and now he grind it up and he make those. Every time I go down, I bring up a piece of that. Okay. I probably have some in here with the chocolate and the oil floating on it, you know.
On the top.
Yeah. For a rainy day, that and a piece of fried plantain and roti, and you're good.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. So Austin is still here?
No, he left. He left.
He left early? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next we have some utensils, kitchen utensils. Yes. Good. We have you know, you remember this here? This here to make
a grinder.
Yeah, we used to call it mincer. Mincer.
The mincer, yeah. But we used to use it primarily for making dal puri. You know, put some boiled peas inside it and grind it up and so on. Yeah. And of course, you know, the stick for the callaloo.
Yeah.
My sister used to swear that the only callaloo really, the true callaloo is make it with one of those wooden sticks like this. Yes. No osterizer or anything like that.
So the Indian people, we call that the gutni, the dal gutni. So you gutni the dal, and then the swizzle stick is the other one, and then you have belda and the tawa on top.
So the tawa, you know, well, this iron pot here is for pilau and other things. You know, cooking curry, cooking stew chicken, whatever. Somebody said that Trinidadian people have a high amount of iron in their blood because of, I suppose, cooking in this iron pot, you know.
Everyone sitting in a pot like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have one downstairs, actually. Right?
And strangely enough, we had a pail just like this.
Yeah, the pail was for water. Yeah. Well, first of all, I think this is the thing you probably had it in your house rather than a stove.
Yeah, there's a chula.
Yeah, a chula. Yeah. And come on. And of course the pail was for fetching water. Yes, fetching water from down the road, I suppose, or from outside. Right?
From the standpipe.
Yeah.
Or from the standpipe.
You see, DP, you see the one where you have the roti cooking on the tower? Before that, that way they say they call it seke in the roti. You seke the roti. And when they used to take it there sometime in them fireside, they used to take it after and put it on the side like a tandoori and
get it a little bit brown and
and when crispy. You say that roti cook on chulha or fireside, it's better than when you cook it on
some butter or cheese melted in.
Oh god, you get it for the food piece there and you put a well, you call it butter margarine, right, Tax?
Yeah.
Margarine is bring the margarine butter on you.
The margarine butter. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
You know the grinder on the bottom right there.
This one here.
Yeah. They used to grind meat in that too, right?
Yeah.
And one of my sisters was helping grind meat, but the meat was cold, I think. And she pushed her hand in there and grind it up with her fingers. Not bad, but you know, she didn't feel it at first, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's really the grater when you're grating coconut, you grate off the finger.
Oh yeah, you're grating knuckle and everything going in the coconut, right? Yeah.
Talking about that, all I remember picking shelling peas.
Oh yes.
As well.
Oh my god, pigeon peas, yeah.
Normal process. Okay.
Now, all the little worm you used to have to pick out.
Yeah. Which meant that the food was good, fresh, yes.
No organic.
Pesticides and other things. Anyhow, most people think was outside, you know, outside the house. Pretty much. A lot of people, not most people, a lot of people think so outside the house. Yeah. Yes? Okay. And so moving from the kitchen, we're moving into the bedroom.
All right, be careful now. Be careful.
Yeah, I try to be elegant, you know. Yeah. Oh my goodness, remember this? This
Chanel bedspread, yeah.
This spread, Chanel bedspread. Yes, epitome of elegant, bedroom elegant. Yes.
So I have one now.
You still have one?
It had a name for that beginning with C or something, man.
Chanel bedspread.
I remember the Syrian. They used to say the Syrian coming down the road. Open the back of the car. And you have all these bedspread and blanket and sheets and so on, you know?
Yeah. We used to put it on primarily around Christmas time and so on. Yeah, but you know, interestingly, Peter, I'm sure this don't keep you warm in winter. You know?
Yeah, no. I think like that, when I take it heavy, I can't put it in the washer.
Yeah.
This Christmas thing cause a lot of hardship for all people of all religion, you know. The amount of things that used to happen at Christmas.
Apparently so. But anyways, this here is a bed, okay, from the old time days again. Remember? with the mosquito net or the curtain around it.
Here is now, even them thing on top, you have the brasso and shine boy.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Shine all them.
Yeah. Okay, and you know, we can't forget the wardrobe.
Oh yeah.
The wardrobe. This particular wardrobe, as I was pulling up, you know, reading about this, made of something called copperwood.
Yep.
Right. You know, copperwood was a hardwood apparently.
Yep, it was.
And the skin, the outside skin used to be bumpy like the back of a copper, which is why they call it copperwood. Yeah. So so that's what it is. Okay,
Roger,
yes, that's what.
nowadays they're using teak because of termites. Termites don't really eat teak.
Yeah. Termites is a problem.
Our sister Noreen has a set like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Just going back to the beds. I remember going by my mother's mother in Orapuch, and they had the beds with the big posts and all that sort of thing. And these beds were so high, you had to, as a little child, you had to take a running jump to get on top of the bed, right? and then on top of that, they didn't have toilet in the house. They had the posies under the bed, right?
Okay.
So big posies under the bed, right? Yeah.
Okay. You are just stealing the thunder because you know, in addition to
God. I should have checked with you before I opened my mouth.
You used to call it utensil.
It served a utilitarian purpose.
Utensil.
You could tell you could tell the people on the right there was more prosperous because when you get the colored enamel one, that is a elevated.
Because this here is for the more wealthier persons, and this is a commode. Everybody had a commode at home, you know. Yeah.
And if you miss taking out that posy in the morning, you have to wait till late in the night because you have nobody else here taking out that posy, you know.
You had to throw that out early.
Early o'clock, you know. Anyhow.
The thing is, sorry, in the country to spend summer, summer, August holidays in Brasso, right?
Yeah.
There are no indoor toilet. There is latrine outside.
Yep.
You want to 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You in deep shit because there are no light and thing in the back there to feel your way there.
You got a flambeau. Somebody flambeau, take the flambeau to the toilet, you know.
Yeah, and snake and spider and scorpion in your ass. Right?
Anyways,
I grew up in with a house with 3 sisters, and the posy was never for the guys. And you want to take a piss in the night, you get outside. You're even going not fast outside. You go by the back step there and the banister. You're pissing from elevation. You're like a waterfall.
Exactly.
I hope nobody downstairs.
Nah, well, nobody is supposed to be there at all.
Until you get bigger and you can piss out the window, Dave. Until they get.
Anyhow, let's go outside. Let's go outside the house. Right? And clearly, when you go outside, it's the dogs. The dogs are supposed to be outside.
Piss on the dog.
You know. So listen to this. It's just 2 minutes. Okay. Right.
Oh, this is one of the Canadian and the West Indian dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
From the film boss,
the film.
the film boss.
So if you wasn't driving there, your song in the horn.
Yeah, film boss. Yeah, that's right.
You're whistling in theater.
Yeah.
Operator, wake up, boy, wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
Oops, sorry.
Chili dog, brown dog, black dog, and puppy.
Yeah. The worst thing is somebody in the village now have a red thoroughbred dog, and he get away and she in heat, and one of them old potong, capitalize on the moment. Dog born, you want to know how them fancy dog name turn out like them potong.
How many times did you ever set a dog shit barefoot or with shoes on and never clean it afterwards?
Yeah, this is standard procedure, yeah. Right? Dogs just do the business and go in Trinidad, Yeah, anyways.
Yes.
And of course, brown dog, black dog, puppy, is the name of the dog.
You ever notice them dog know how to take care of themselves after they eat whatever you give them? They eat in the grass.
Yeah.
The grass and they puke after and there, Mm-hmm.
Seriously, they go and they eat grass.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's not any ordinary grass, they eat the long grass. Yeah. And
that actually the grass is cut up the inside of their stomach, cause them to shit blood and all that too. So it's not a good thing for them.
Yeah. Spoken like a true dog man. But anyway.
Yes, yeah.
So outside of the house, of course, we still see the joking board thing.
It's scrub-o-matic, boy, scrub-o-matic.
Yeah. The joking board and the and the pail. All right. Some people, we as well later on, yes, we had a washing machine. Remember the washing machine? Right? And they had to put the clothes through the rollers at the top, yes? These rollers here.
Yes.
Yeah, this was high tech back in the day. Right?
And then,
to squeeze all the clothes. Right?
And there used to be a thing called blue, and you used to throw it in the clothes to make it white.
You're getting excited. I don't understand, because the next slide we will talk about that. The blue.
Roger boy, I don't.
Roger, be quiet.
It's because
the blue soap.
I have ESP with the other Roger. That's what happened.
Right? And it's specifically for white clothes. You're going to wash any kind of clothes in blue.
That a fella in the village around Carnival time, he thieving a blue,
Yeah.
He playing jab, he playing devil. And anytime people leave a little piece of blue outside, he going with it and accumulating that to dab up his body. Mm-hmm.
Blue devil?
And you notice how white the blue used to make the white clothes look. Anyways, right? What you all remember this? Because when you put clothes in blue water, you have to put it outside on the bleach. I know people. Yes. I was telling somebody about a bleach, and I had no idea what it is they're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
the old chain link wire rack, right?
Yeah, wire rack. Like this here, this is a typical. This is metal bleach or something modern, but this here is more typical of the one we grew up with. Yes,
I wonder what is the chemical in blue. That it had to be some kind of oxidizing thing or something. What is it?
That's something.
But you could still get those, You could still
get blue. Yeah. Blue standard thing in the Western.
You could get a blue soap and all that still.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
It have a brand name. Did it have a brand name? What was the name?
Blue soap. I did go in the shop and ask for some blue soap. Yeah.
I know it was Lever Brothers who used to make it, because you had the Lifebuoy was the fancy one. Yes. You get the Lifebuoy to bathe with yourself, but the blue soap and the brown soap was for the dog and the clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. In Jamaica,
Carbolic soap.
And Peter might wish to comment. You know, people use the blue soap to bleach their skin, which is crazy, you know. But that's what it is. Okay, so outside again, you'll find the latrine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talk starch, DP.
The starch,
The starch, they used to starch a shirt. It used to be stiff like a board.
Yeah. Right?
Or even your jeans, you better get your first pair of jeans and you starch that and your seam cutting.
Yeah. Okay, and to just bring this home, outside in the yard as well, you'll find children playing. Okay, so of course, you know, kite flying is a big thing. Yeah, with the children. Yes. We had some discussion on the thread about this chicky chong, right? You know, with just a piece of paper, you fold the ends, yeah, and you fly it, or the mad bull. Remember that? The big. And I don't know if you guys remember as well. You put a concourse tail on the thread or whatever and try to cut down the other person's kite. Yeah.
Will cut.
Yeah.
That's a big blade on the tail.
And you make your own top from guava wood, using guava wood to make it up.
Okay.
And a nail in
the bottom.
Talking about substance stuff. Of course, children used to do their own thing. Yes, we used to make Callan cats or the box cats. Yes, you guys will remember this. I don't know if you guys remember the bobbin tractor.
The little tractor.
Yeah, with the candle and you put the rubber band and it roll as far as it could. Yeah.
Listen, when you make that in the village, you're creating a complex highway and everything with mud. No, and your tractor going up there to see who could climb it. And you see sometimes tractor skidding and coming back down.
Yeah, you had serious engineers and so on back in the day. If you had your, and of course the slingshot was there, and of course the top. Right?
So what was the purpose of the candle? Weight?
To smooth, to provide the smooth, the lubrication.
Some lubrication, right?
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. High science, you know. Yeah. And the rubber band was really to, I guess,
traction.
That was the gas. That was the gasoline when you wind it up, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't. You had to put these teeth into the edge of the thing because sometimes you have all kinds of surfaces. Yeah.
You never make one of these Mutu?
Which one? The tractor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't remember. I can't say that I remember how to do it, but I certainly did way back when.
Just matchstick, candle, bobbin,
rubber band, and
a longer piece of stick goes on this side.
Well, the longer piece of stick, that's how you get a good piece of cookie stick, and you put that down there.
And you had a pin. You had to put that pin on this side to hold the stick in one place.
Yeah.
I'm not saying from Peter Holder. I wonder you.
Well, you know, so in the first picture here, I used to race on the canal cart. So I used to get to the point, you know, since I was one of the smaller guys in the neighborhood, I am on the cart, you know. So halfway through the summer, my pants stick into my knee because my knee all bust up from falling down all the time. So my mother used to have to send me to Port of Spain to get me out of racing.
but hold on. It's that days like that, man. You say after summer, you're happy to show this car you get, you know. The piece of skin you leave on the road there.
Oh my God.
You see where you used to live up there in Pleasant Park?
Yeah.
I had a steep hill there, boy. Oh gosh. Fellas used to just challenge men up on that hill to come down.
Yeah, but this didn't have any kind of braking mechanism except to pull on one side so that it goes.
Hey, you jump off.
So the ones we had in Pleasant Park, we didn't have that cord. Yeah. So the steering was another piece of wood across the top. And so you crouch down like this, you know. We had the sports model.
Okay.
Yeah, but the brakes was you put your foot down.
Which more foot is when you fall off?
Yeah, the jump
off. That too, right? But if you want to stop, right? And a lot of times you run around barefoot, so it was you your bare feet going down the stop, right?
Yep.
Another thing, these things were useful for toting water.
Yeah.
Put some petroleum inside there and you're good. Yeah?
Crickstons.
Crickstons, yeah.
Tire rubber on the back for brakes. You see, use called rope to steer. Tie up rope on the two ends, and that's what you used to say. Is like you're riding a horse coming down.
Oh yeah, look at the rope there, man. Look at the rope there.
Yeah.
And these things on the wheel.
Ball bearing.
Yeah.
And those things were hard to come by, boy.
Yeah.
If you know somebody working Texaco machine shop, you're a good friend with them. And you see the other one, go to the slinging shot. Go to
this one,
right. You see them two pieces of rubber there, right? With that thing, yeah. If you know somebody working cement factory, TCL, you making good friend with them because they have some gloves that they used to sell. Because some of the rubbers from the tire used to be what they call pull and stop. Yeah. Pull and stop is you can only pull it to a certain length. But when you get pull and go used to be from them rubber gloves and mostly used to be red. So when you see a man with a red slinging shot and the tongue that you do there is an old shoes. If you get that, you putting that out, you know, and you making that slinging shot there and you doing that. You know how much crab I shoot with that all the way down in Claxon Bay down there by that sea Gulf up area there.
And your father wondering where his shoes gone. Yeah.
But people used to use these slinging shots mainly for birds and stuff, right?
Yeah.
To shoot
birds and stuff and shooting crab. Well, when you get that old gloves from the leather gloves, you can cut and make enough of that tongue for the stone. Good man, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you just about that slingshot. I had a slingshot in Tobago, and every week I used to have to go down by the bakery to get bread, hops of bread from the Chinese street.
I think I'm really good. Yeah.
Tall palm trees, boy. And one day I'm going down and there this woodpecker on the beautiful woodpecker, bright red and blue. And I take my slingshot, I fired at the woodpecker, not expecting to hit it. I hit it plumb in the back and the woodpecker fall to the ground, boy, and I run home.
Wicked little boy.
He wasn't there, so he must just get knocked out a little bit and wake back up. I remember how
kill the bird.
Jeez, I ain't buy the bread, I just run home.
Yeah. What is joke for schoolboy is that for crapo or woodpecker, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember in those slingshots. When you had sorry, Redhead, go ahead. I was going to say something. Go ahead.
Does anybody remember what you used to shoot in a slingshot?
Stone.
Stone.
Yeah. Called slurry that they used to use to run the cement.
Oh,
okay.
They would use the metallic to take it out of the cement. And they had the holes in the slurry. And that was the hardest shooting thing. It was a hole about the size of a marble. And you used to get that from TCL and carry about, and that's what you used to use for the slingshot instead of the stones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if somebody building house and they get a load of guanapo gravel come, then people combine that because everybody in the village taking all them nice rounds.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we were talking about ball bearing just now with it. Do you guys used to make your own scooter?
Scooter? Yeah.
Yeah,
like what you see now. Yeah.
I used to make those.
And make your own scooter.
Yeah.
I have a story about that. So one of the things, to bind is the front part to the part where you put your foot.
Yeah.
You needed a hinge.
Yeah.
So, but then when you need a hinge now, you need a pin, right?
Yeah.
So when they're building new homes in the neighborhood, guess what? You're taking that pin out of the hinge. So, the police started to come around, because we stealing the pins out of the people's new house hinge. So in the day when I go into school, I put my nail in there and I hide my pin.
DP one toy I didn't see a show up there, which was this was the more affordable one, but a simple old bicycle rim.
I was
Oh
just
yeah.
And you're going on like how can't say you're
yeah.
going to that bakery? You drive in your room. You hear this? You get so sophisticated now. You cut a long piece of pole and you have an antenna, and you're going down slow, and you're long antenna pole up there, and you're packing up your wheel when you go down there. You know that room. You're packing.
Anybody used to bus carbide?
Yeah. But at Kabay was Christmas time, more or less.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. So let me bring this home. So with the question, should we bring back the old time days? What you guys think about that question?
Well, you can't do it, so
you can't do it, but it's good to reminisce.
It's nice to reminisce,
from time to time. Yeah.
My question is, are we passing on this to children of today? Do they know anything about what we went through? It's part of our history, These are things that are typically Trinidadian, the way, Is this any of this being taught in the schools or anything like that? For example, there are two things that I just forgot before the electricity. You remember the kerosene lamp, the Coleman lamp?
Yeah.
Remember also the flit gun?
Yes.
These are all parts of our, things. Should this be passed on to our children or whatever?
Well, certainly the knowledge should be passed on, because when I was looking at this show, the documentary, The Living Room, it struck me that, this is our history here. This is the history of Caribbean people, right? And it was so similar, the experiences, regardless of whether they're Jamaican or Guyanese or Trinidadian or Bajan or whatever. It is so similar because they have pretty much the same experience with the bed and the stove and the fridge and everything. Yeah.
You want to stop sharing the slide? Let me just go to gallery.
One second. Let me just finish this with a photograph from or a painting from Ducky, right? And thank everybody for listening. Right? Yeah. So let me just stop the share. Yeah. So here we are.
I realize I really talk. Go ahead, Cam.
No, I cut you off. Go ahead.
So I realize I really talk because I'll tell you, my answer to the question is, for me, this was fantastic because it just brings back so much nostalgia and fun memories. And primarily from a really younger days, because I left the village when I was 12, when I was started to go press to Marabella, which was a completely different set of recreation. But I love it. And my answer to the question is, we may not be able to bring back the whole time things, but you see what we're having now, I think that is what we need to bring back. And even, like we get together, as we say, and just chatting, and even the new generation, they might have their own experiences to share certain things. But I think this kind of social interaction is important as part of it, because I was really enjoying myself just this year,
Let me ask you something, because we used to do this in Tobago, but I can't remember ever seeing it in Trinidad. You used to take the top of a tin, like a clim tin or something, nail it to a piece of wood and roll it on.
Roll it in a stick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys used to do that too, eh?
Yeah.
Because we had nothing else to play with. Don't forget, we had no toys, I remember for Christmas, I used to be lucky to get one toy and an apple. That was my Christmas present, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe a caps gun or something. I'm lucky, right? That was, and for the rest of the year, you make your own fun. You make your little toys with roll a clim cover on, or you spend all the time playing in the bush, playing cowboys and Indians and running around. We never had anything else to do. Now, kids never get out of the house. Everything is indoors. It's all electronic games, and it's up to us to really, get the kids out of the house and get the grandkids out of the house, which I'm trying to do now that I have grandkids. But we don't see them often enough to really have an impact.
You got to learn to make some kite and show them, man. Do things for that, But you see that simple thing can't talk about it, but making that pan take you get a old Milo cover or a big one if you get a big slim pan cover and you do that. It had a certain talent to do that, you know. If you didn't put that hole
in the middle,
long in the middle, that thing kicking and walking and wobbling and when you get in the race, you can't win nothing with that race.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to take your little piece of stick and move that bicycle wheel properly, right? You got to keep up with it. You got to know how fast to push it, you know. There's a lot of stuff you had to do on that.
And the thing is, we used to do that on the road. So run it into the traffic. Had to guide it carefully on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You remember when Badruddin, his book, in Out of the Doubles Kitchen, he talked about making train, and I think the corned beef can was the caboose or something like that, you know, and so the same sort of thing. I mean, older than us, of course, but that was what you had to do to make your own toys, right?
Well, here it is now. That same thing I talk about with when you got to push that bicycle rim. When you hear this now, when you get elevated, you have a key to start that, you know. And where you think you get that key from? A sardine tin. When you get one of them things, you're going now, you're starting it. And then now you're pushing the thing. Oh, God. Imagination, boy, imagination. Yeah.
Oh, that was some nice, you see, and especially them little chicky chong kite. We used to go down by the parlor down the road and buy the kite paper. You know, like penny for a sheet or some kind of thing, and then you come home and you mix up your flour glue.
The flour paste, right?
Yeah, and you use the coquille. Them, I don't know, them kids don't have that rich of a experience growing up now because, like you say, they spend most of the time indoors on the phone. They don't get.
Yeah, but they have other experiences. But the thing about it is that those other experiences come with different kinds of dangers, you know. For example, obesity. A lot of children are less active because, you know, they play a lot of video games and other things. And then they are, I guess, susceptible to influence of all kinds of people. Yeah. If you do online games and so on, right? So, you know, it's a different space we in, you know.
But it would be interesting. It would be interesting to maybe get about 20-year-olds or so people, not the teenagers, maybe 20, 25, and get them into this conversation and see how they reminisce and what they think about. Because the other thing you didn't cover in this here too, when I'm not critical, but just say, was storytelling.
Yeah, I was thinking about that just now, actually.
You know, and you're hearing them stories with you. And I remember I used to want to hear the scary ones. And you're afraid to go to bed after. And that used to only happen when my great grandmother used to come by and she had an art of telling the story. And you didn't want to hear it. And you know that night you had to try to use the posy because you ain't going outside there to pee at all.
Yes.
Especially up in Brasso there, you hear no kind of zombie all. If you hear a zombie all balling, they say coming for somebody tonight. Hot a toothpick, hot a ice pick, and put it in the fire, take it from the fire and put it in the water and let it go shh. And that would drive away the owl. Oh God.
And the thing is, them people in the country are all kind of story, eh? And they telling them story in the night with lamp. Shadows flickering on the wall, and they telling you about this Sokonia who used to come in the village like it's a real thing, eh?
That guy who pulled the chain and the headless man. Oh God. And you know, you want to hear it, eh? You want to hear the next night, but you're frightened ass. You're going away after that, you know.
I remember after hearing those stories, time to go and take a shower, man. And the bathroom had a wall by the shower there, and you had to flick on the light and stick your head around the corner just to make sure nothing waiting there for you, you know? And you keep the door open. You keep the door open so you have a place to run, right?
Yeah. That way the coconut oil used to come in. I will tell you how. When you after if you shower, you say, they say, let me see your knee and let me see your hand. So all them little brown mark and ashy mark you have in the day during it. When you want to bathe, you rub it down with coconut oil and you go and train them everything good.
Talking about bathing, in the 50s, 60s, remember there was no such thing as indoor plumbing. So you had your outside bathroom.
Yeah.
Bathroom outside. And especially if you have a lot of sisters, etc. You know, you need the outside bathroom.
Yeah. I
You
was
could always
looking for
bathe
outside
you could always
bathroom,
bathe
but
in
I
your
couldn't.
shorts.
Yeah, I was looking for outside bathroom, but I didn't see any.
Yeah. The guys bathing outside in the tap or the barrel of water and you're throwing
Barrel of
your
water, right?
Yeah.
Or by the standpipe, you know.
Man used to be by the
Guys, this has been really nostalgic for me. Huh? I am 10 years older than you guys. I born in 1951.
Yeah.
And there were no, you know, because when I came back from Jamaica, then my parents broke down the old house. So the old house was there up to when I left for Jamaica. And that had all the Morris chairs and all these things. What this thing just now? We used to cut down the side of the trees, rubber trees, and make lagri to catch bird.
Yeah.
Catch bird.
I used to do that too.
Or you get the lagli from a shattering tree.
Shattering tree, you chop it up.
Shattering tree, you get the lagli from a shattering tree.
Rubber tree.
Yeah.
So that rubber trees on our.
So
but I remember too when we were talking about the lamps in the night and the carbide. Right. My uncles used to take the carbide to make a bright light to put on the hunting cap. Hunting.
Yeah, boy.
The hunting cap.
And
once an uncle came from England and he all about this camera. And he was looking in this bush and saw this bright blue bird. And he stalked the bird. Really good stalking right up to the bird. And when he went to the picture, it was a magnesia bottle.
Michael, when you're telling them people that story, you mustn't tell a fella you named Redhead. You know, call him Ahmad or something, you know.
No.
Say, have a uncle name. Yeah. Good. You're right, boy.
I wonder if still bus carbide.
Yes, of course. Big time. A lot of people complain.
But they also do bamboo, right? You bust in bamboo, which you use kerosene on, right? And that makes a much richer, deeper sound once you get it heated up. Yeah.
Yeah. The dogs freak out, man. Yeah.
But we never had fireworks and thing. Now people in Trinidad have fireworks and thing, and I don't know.
We had starlight.
Yeah.
And they run all over the place, flashing it.
Well, as they say in Trinidad, a back in a starlight, boy.
I don't know. Now they talked about the fireworks. Remember, for Diwali, a lot of people used it for diyas all over. Right? Diyas was the only real source of lights. But now people put up, these Christmas lights and all of these things all over the house. Electric lights and stuff. That's a different feel, really.
But putting out diyas was a lot of work, right? You get those bamboo and cut them out in thin strips and make them into shapes. And on every joint you put a diya, and you gotta take the coconut oil from a week before and put the wick out and light them up and go back, and when the wind's blowing, you got to go back and keep relighting them and putting oil in again to keep it. It was a big deal to get that, but everybody did it. And when you finish, you go drive. You take a drive down the road to see, look at the lights, right?
Yeah, but we used to walk up and down Palmyra, take all of it, right? Because it was fun, But now, as you say, everybody drives, right?
Baby. By the time he coming back, one set of parasite, brown paper bag, parasite in the car. That was a thrill.
Yeah, man. I'm coming through them bag.
I think we could never obviously recreate those days. Right? We can only remember them, and it's great to, as Dave said, it's great to have this chat and really kind of, because when you bring up these things again, it stirs up in your memories that were kind of dormant, and you really bring it back to the forefront again, right? So it's good for that. We can never bring these days back because we remember the good things, right? Don't forget, remember the good things. Bad things around that time, the things that you don't want to come back goes hand in hand, right? You can't have the you can have that lifestyle with the modern facilities and everything else too. So, you know, you can never regret it.
So Tax, when we reminiscing and talking as a group, and that's what we just do now. Anybody get together, that is it. But what we just do, as soon as we come back to those bad memories, as you say, we just boycott it and leave it there. And you know what we just say? We're very resilient. Because we should have really be seeing, according to this North American society, we should have been seeing therapists and trying to blame we parents and everything. So we just say, you know what? Let me call ourselves resilient and let's move on. And we conveniently forget that and we just spend the whole night just shifting.
Just on Batis and cabs, we should have seen psychologists.
Yeah. But you know something, as I was doing this work here, putting this stuff together, it shocked me that, you know, we weren't really poor, you know what I'm saying? Because like in other places, right, you know, all over the world, you have real poor people who have nothing at all. At least we still had a house with a bedroom, a kitchen, you know, living room, and so on, you know, and of course we had our experiences around that, right? So in a sense, you know, we were fortunate to have parents to give us those things, you know, because a lot of people all over the world are much less fortunate than Trinidad.
Oh yeah.
Right, because no matter how much economic, how poor we thought we were, I mean, there was never, I don't ever recall being hungry, right?
Yeah.
There's always something to eat or food from the neighbors, or we planted trees and plants around the house that give us food. Yeah. You know, I was having this conversation with somebody in the office. They're looking to go get hibiscus plants and some of the landscaping plants. And I said to them, look, you're asking the wrong person. I only plant plants that I can eat that gives me food to eat, right? I don't plant landscaping plants. And it was like that for us. Now you go back to Trinidad, everybody had the fancy plants outside and spend money on landscaping, and you go in the backyard, they have nothing that they grow.
Nothing at all.
But Tax, you had to had at least one hibiscus plant to get you.
Oh, we did, but you made it
that one,
right?
You had to get that one from that.
You get that one too, right?
Yeah.
No, everybody says very. I do buy landscaping plants, but I'll buy a 3-foot plant, and in 5 years it's going to get to 8 feet. I'm happy. I'm a patient person. People going to buy 10-foot plants because they want immediate, they want immediate results. And it's just a shitload of money out here in the Hamptons to do that.
So Michael, what is that piece of furniture there behind you there? That piece there on
an old radio.
Is it a radio or is it like a storage thing?
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Michael.
There's CDs in it? No.
Since we're talking furniture, you know.
Yeah, there you go. What is that?
Cassette tapes?
It's a stereo with cassettes.
Yeah, stereo.
Yeah, look like that. Cassette tapes.
Yeah, it's not an 8-track, it's a normal cassette player.
And you were showing us that cabinet,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at this one.
A gramophone, man. A gramophone. You have any of these 78? You have any of these 78?
The master's voice. The master's voice.
Yes, 78.
Yeah.
That's
it. What is that, Roomba?
Roomba Fitness? Did I say Roomba Fitness?
78.
I'm a phone.
Yeah. That looks like it still works.
Wow.
That is great, man.
That was one of my favorites.
Look like we had a cup on your
It has a little mechanism to turn it. This thing on the side, you see this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Turn this.
Okay. It plays.
And then yeah. Charge it up with this.
Yep.
And then you let go this. It's not turning. It used to turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
these are little oil in.
No, and you pick up
coconut oil.
Yeah. I need to clean it up. Yeah, but it's still here. You see?
And Michael, you remember how thick that needle used to be? That needle, and yeah, that needle and that. Yeah, man.
Yeah, interesting.
I remember the logo. It used to have that big horn there and a dog like used to be inside.
Yes, yes. To one side, right? Yeah.
Yes.
His master's voice.
Yeah.
Look,
Yes.
There it is.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Because I remember my grandmother them had one of that, and they had like about 3 LP. And one was a collection of Muhammad Rafi, that used to be the Indian songs. And then they had some other English songs that they used to play. And then they had, for some reason, they had something with a kind of Spanish thing, like it used to be close to Parang, and they used to play that, you know.
Okay. So that's waltz and stuff. That Dream Dancing album there is like waltz and other things.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Venetian waltz.
Guys, I gotta go.
So George,
myself.
Great chat. Take care.
The other blessing we should take from this is the fact that, you know, we could have this conversation still with, like, you know, Michael says he's 10 years older than, I think the oldest is me right now, and then you have Radford. But I think we really had this benefit to go back to there, and I totally enjoy this, boy. This bring back so much memory for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, George, take care. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, with the whole.
Yeah.
45 and 78 and then 33 years later on.
Yeah.
And in the radiogram for the 45, there was a solid column that you could put stack several 45s and it will drop. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was real big thing for me when we get one. Real
I don't know if in your day there was circle in across the road from presentation where they had the jukebox.
I don't know which one was it done by
I know what you're talking about.
Just across from presentation.
Yeah.
On Coffee Street. There's a club. Yeah, we used to go there and play music and thing.
You remember B25? Please, mister, please don't leave me. It was my song, it was his song, it was our song.
No, I remember that place and the jukebox. That was early days in Prez.
Yeah.
Once you come out on Coffee Street and you cross the street, it used to be right there.
Yeah.
All them rum coffees down out there.
They used to play a lot of Sparrow and stuff, you know, Mimi and all that stuff, you know.
No, that's
Queen's Canary and, you know. So.
But I forget about that thing with the tin can cover and how I used to roll it down. Back some nice memories tonight, man. And I older and he scraped me. I used to scrape, you know, I used to fall and bruise, you know, them bruise. It just red and white first, and then it turned red. And then by the next day, they have this tin scab over it. And I used to fall again and rip off that scab.
Michael, what you showing us there? What you showing us?
Old-time dressing table.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I wonder if you're still planning that around Christmas time.
We had one with a wrong mirror.
For a long time, but it hit.
Yeah.
I had to
Nice.
We had one with three.
This one.
In the middle and two on the side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just tell the guys that. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Roger.
Yes, guys. Sorry. My internet is acting up. It just threw me straight out of the meeting.
Very good.
Right?
Oh.
So, we're wrapping up. So I wouldn't come back. Okay.
All right.
Good show, guys.
I go into.
Yeah, we all going. All right. Thanks very
Thanks,
much.
DP. Thanks for the memories.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Roger.
All right. Bye.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah.